Hi, my name is Kat Kerr, and today I'm going to share 3 resin and wire project ideas. Before I get started, I just want to go over the amazing casting products I use in this tutorial. I get questions on them all the time. Amazing Clear Cast can be used as a casting resin or as a clear top coat. It has a 1-to-1 mix ratio, 30 to 40 minute work time, and 24 to 48 hour demold time. Amazing casting resin turns white and cures in about 10 minutes. It has a 1-to-1 mix ratio, a work time of 2 to 3 minutes, and a demold time of 5 to 15 minutes. Amazing Mold Putty helps you to make your own molds for resin, food, soap, wax, clay, and more. It has a 1-to-1 mix ratio, 2 to 3 minute work time, and 15 to 20 minute demold time. Sample Project 1, Journal Cover Heart Frame using clear cast resin and wire. Using 16 gauge copper wire, I created a free-form heart and wings. I then hardened the wire by hitting it gently with a hammer on a metal block. I placed 2 pieces of packing tape sticky side up and added the metal pieces to the sticky side of the tape. Mix up 2 equal parts of clear cast resin and then apply it to the inside of the wire using a brush. Next, using a rubber stamp and archival ink, add a design to the inside of the wire on top of the cured resin. Mix up another batch of resin. This time, add some glitter to the resin. Mix it up and then apply it to the inside of the heart and the wings using the brush. I next added some of that glitter resin to the top of my image. Here's where I want to add the heart, but in order to help it stand out, I decided to add some paper to the back of the frame. After gluing on the image and cutting out the paper around the frame, I added 1 additional layer of resin and added some sequin stars. Sample project number 2, photo holders using wire and casting resin. I decided to use a wooden block as the base for my photo holders, but I first needed to make a mold. So here I am mixing 2 parts of Amazing Mold Putty. Once I have 1 solid yellow color, I'm able to push in the object into the mold putty, bring up the walls and the sides, and just let the object sit in there for about 10 minutes. Here I'm adding some copper metallic powder to the inside of the mold. Next, I'll take 2 equal parts of Amazing Casting Resin. Then I'll take a little bit of the metallic powder that I just used to dust the inside of the mold, and I'm going to apply a little tiny bit to part A of the casting resin. I'm going to mix it thoroughly, then I'll combine the two and then pour it into the mold. Next, I'm going to take a piece of wire where I added a little curly Q on one side, and I'm going to place it inside the mold while the resin is curing. And I'm just going to try to stay still for about 5 minutes until the resin cures and the piece of wire is trapped inside the resin. After removing it from the mold, I added some treasured brass to highlight the textured letters on the block. Sample project number 3, Fairy Wing Earrings. Here I'm using 20 gauge brass wire. I cut out 3 pairs of wire. The first one's about 4 inches long, the second one's about 3, and the last one is approximately 1.5. Now I'm taking a round nose plier and adding loops to both sides of the longest pieces of wire. Next, I created a loop in the center of the wire by twisting the 2 ends together. Then I just manually shaped the wire to create a U. Next, I take the additional pieces of wire and add a loop to one side only. Next, I mix up a batch of clear cast resin, and then I brush it on to a piece of vintage book paper. While the resin is still wet, I add my pieces of wire. I start with the largest piece, and then I add 2 smaller pieces inside the U shape. Once the resin is cured, I cut out the wings. I mix up one final batch of clear cast resin and add an additional layer to the top of the wings, and then I sprinkle on some micro beads. I added some earring wires, and now these are ready to wear. To view more videos using amazing casting products, visit www.moldputty.com.